speed, sights, and style. These are 3 words you could use to describe Forza Horizon 6. There's a lot more words you could use, and I've used quite a lot of them in this video, but you get the idea. Those are 3 important words. Hey there! How are you? And welcome to Forza Horizon 6. And a completely different video format, because this is my channel and I decide what I do. I really like this game. And that's not a fresh opinion, I know that. This game is a very positive, at the time of writing, 87% positive reviews on Steam, so it's doing something right. I just checked while editing and it's gone down to 86%, so Forza Horizon 6 fell off, GG. And not for car nerd reasons, because I'm not a car nerd. I can't even drive. It's got a pretty uninteresting story. It's a collectathon of cars. It's go fast into wall and laugh at how much brain damage you would have just taken if you were in that car. That's what makes this so fun. And what else makes this an enjoyable experience is that it's an open world experience where you pick and choose what you want to do. There's freedom. Your car is freedom. That gives a sense of freedom. There's about 6 races that you have to do. And they're the special showcase. We put all our money and dev time here. Please don't ignore it. We spent so much money. Come on, please. And while that is annoying that there's something you have to do, it's a sacrifice of having this much open world. Fair enough, guys. Fair enough. But if we're doing a racing game, we have to start with the most important factor. Us. Because what's a racing game if you can't see your own future blunt force lobotomy victim, eh? I really don't care much about my character. I picked a few vaguely me-shaped options. Wow, this looks just like me if I looked anything like this. There's a bunch of prosthetic options, but sadly I could not make myself a quadruple amputee cyborg mega racer, so here's an artist's rendition. And then we're in. And by in, I of course mean in Japan. And they make that very clear. Cherry blossom forests, torii gates, mountain snow, and a lovely Japanese city to race through and probably hit someone in. Another thing, this map is big, as are all the Horizon maps in fairness, but pretty much every track you'll find in the game, every course, every dirt road you skid off of, that's in the map. Everything is in the map except for a very select few which are made up of like containers and things that aren't normally there, but that's fine. One of my favorite things to do so far is to drive around this huge motorway it circles about 80% of the map. Don't check my maths on that, I don't care. And just seeing how fast I can go without actually hitting anything. It's not very long. The map is split into huge regions, with each region having its own mascot scattered around to destroy multiple of. I can't say off the top of my head how many there are, but there's a lot. I think one of my friends has counted 200 and they're not done, so a lot. Also, the radio hosts are constantly making jokes about how the mascots are too cute to destroy, and it's just it's not a fun thing to hear 15 times in one session, you know? But yeah, they got to put something in there, don't they? Around the map are also a lot of properties you can purchase. I don't really care much, and they don't do a lot, but they do provide small buffs, and they give you a place to hang out and customize your own space with lots of decorative parts, which is nice. There we go, doesn't that look good? And definitely not terrible at all. And now, you may be thinking, I've covered the map. Surely, I'm about to get into the actual game, right? No, because they added Uber Eats to my racing game, and I love it more than the racing. I'm so sorry, devs. But this mode, unironically, was so fun that I was 5 ranks in before I even played my first real race. And I'm not even kidding when I say it's just Uber Eats. Here's the concept. Go to restaurant, take food from restaurant, cause some property damage, complete the delivery.
Thanks, driver.
The property damage bit can be swapped out for a few different objectives, which I'll cover in a moment. But yeah, it's that simple. It's little more than a car-based fetch quest, and I just love it so much. There is a catch, I should add. You have to do this in one of these two vans. You can't add either to your collection, which, playground, please fix. I want to fly around the streets in a souped-up delivery van and goof around. Thank you. Correction! You can get the van in the form of a Honda Acti, and then get both variants as an upgrade preset by earning enough points during deliveries. So, disregard my previous comment, please, and thank you! The types of objective range from skill points. Earn score by doing stuff before you arrive. Drift points. As before, but drifting around specifically. There's also a version where you need to drift a certain amount of times instead of hitting a threshold bonus. I didn't give that a separate section because it's just the same thing. The drifting one can feel like some real BS sometimes. The goal can be super close, but the target is really high, so you're just wasting your time kind of going side to side trying to get that score up. It's very tricky. But maybe that's a skill issue. Near miss! Almost hit a bunch of car. Don't actually hit them, but almost hit them. This was quite fun. Triple delivery. Instead of going from point A to B, or I guess, point A to B to C, it's now go from point A to B to C to D. Or A to B to C to D to E. It's more people to deliver to. Then, when you're done, be angry that you're apparently the only delivery driver in Japan. Because why is no one else doing these deliveries? It's a ridiculous waste of time to just have one guy doing everything. Just hire another delivery guy. Race! Oh look, there are other drivers in Japan. And instead of using them to make separate deliveries, you're all going to the same place. Why? Speed limit! Go faster than a certain speed. If you go under it, you get a spooky warning, and then the Katsukari in the van explodes because they laced it with lit dynamite or something, I guess. What the hell? I really don't enjoy these ones. Possibly because the sat-nav isn't the best route, it's just the recommended route, so I'm turning more than I have to, and that's really hampering my speed, and then I'm going down. If you learn the map, I think these ones are better than I'm leading you to believe. Don't damage. Don't hit stuff or the pie from the pie factory will explode.
Oh no.
Do damage. Hit everything and be a public menace. Genuinely. You get points from smashing fences, lampposts, trees, signposts, traffic cones. You get it. This one is fun concept, but not that interesting after the multiple hours I put into this game mode. I wish I was kidding about that, by the way. I really enjoy it. All these jobs are completed to earn a payout. The payout has a bonus based on how many stars you earn. And you can complete up to 3 jobs in a row to gain a stacking bonus. That's up to 9 stars, baby! Earning credits from the job unlocks new levels with rewards. Most I don't care about, but at rank 2 you can buy the van. That's probably the only one that most people would bother to work towards, so it's nice that they put it so early. And that just about sums up my actual favorite part of the game. Everyone has a weirdly British accent for living in Japan from these brief cutscenes, but not much to talk about there. So, are we onto cars yet? Are we onto racing yet? No! We have visuals to talk about. Don't worry, I'll make it brief. This game is pretty. Like, screenshot for your PC background pretty at times, and they know this. Playground Games really capitalized on the Japanese setting really well, and they have got the weeb bait in. The photo mode has plenty of options to help you take the prettiest pictures possible. And hey, maybe visuals aren't your thing and you just want it to run smoothly. Great news! The game is surprisingly well optimized. I'm on a 3080, so not the budget, but I can run ultra quality with no issues. Sometimes I'll run ray tracing, and I'll have the occasional problem, but not enough to actually care, so whatever. If you're on a lower end rig, you're probably still fine. Most of the reviews, both positive and negative, comment on the optimization being really good for this game, so that's a win for modern gaming. If you're on the lowest quality graphics-wise, the backgrounds aren't as nice, but they still keep the cars looking pretty good, which is, well, yeah, you're probably here for the cars, right? I feel bad for the trees, though. They lose everything. The cars are obviously the highlight, and they do a great job of rendering at any setting, so don't worry about that. Honda? I hardly know her! Orbital. Now, the part of Forza Horizon that everyone actually cares about. Cars. There's a lot of cars in this game. That should be expected, because it's a car game. But there are over 600 cars in the base game. with more added as time goes on as well. So, how do you get these cars? I hear you ask. If you asked, well, you get 6 straight out the gate, just for doing the intro missions. 2 of each race type. Don't worry, we'll get there. And you can buy the majority on the market for credits that you earn, or a one-time used car pass that you can pay real money for. Yippee! It's not that expensive, and it rarely feels like it's worth it. You can earn the credits, but if you absolutely have to have that hyper-expensive car as soon as you start, go ahead and spend the £1, I guess. Some cars are exclusive to the reward wheel that you can either earn or buy spins for. Some cars are rewards for completing missions, some are rewards from weekly tasks in the Battle Pass thing, and some are found around the map available for purchase from aftermarket sellers pre-tuned. Now, I'm not 100% sure, but I've read that there are some cars which are exclusive to aftermarket sellers, so do keep an eye out if you want to fill out everything. A few cars are barn finds that you have to find in a given area, then wait a bit while it's restored, then you get a fancy new car. Basically, there's a lot of cars and a lot of ways to get them. Every car has a rank and a class. The rank decides what you'll be racing against, and it's pretty straightforward. A D tier won't be racing against an S2 tier because a D tier will always win because they have aura. D tier is the lowest tier and pretty much trash but fun, and S2 is the absolute peak of car performance. Unbeatable supercars, the ultimate in engineering. Oh, there's an R rank, which is better. I don't know. I don't enjoy either of these ranks. If you go too high or too low, I just find it's not as enjoyable to race around in. D tier can be fun because the cars are so unique, but you face a problem of nothing has a strong enough engine to really get you zooming, while the S ranks plus are just too good to really have anything going wrong. So I prefer B to A tier, which is sort of a nice middle ground. Stuff has speed, but is still prone to going horribly wrong. But hey, if you want to drive a super fancy sports car, go for it. As for customizing the cars, you can upgrade the engine and tires and other parts as you would expect from a game like this. I just click the shiny auto-complete button and call it a day. I don't understand the numbers enough. If you're a right nerd, you can go a step further and tune your car's individual stats. Well, what does any of this mean? But I don't bother doing that. I've had people say it means I'm wasting huge potential on my cars, but I'm here for a good time, not a think time. There's a few cars with body kits which change the visuals and performance at the same time, but they're not super common. Don't expect them on everything. The real visual control comes from the livery painter, where you can place decals all over your car and really do random stuff with it. Racing stripes, shapes, paint splats, lots of options. You can also, instead of being creative, just take other people's liveries who they've put the effort in. There are some really talented people making this stuff. I mean, some of the stuff I've seen is insane. And because this is set in Japan, there is, of course, a lot of anime girl liveries. Okay, I think I've talked enough about everything that isn't important gameplay mechanics, so, as I said, you have 6 cars early on with pretty minimal effort. You actually start with 3 cars before even this, though, giving you an idea of the types of races you'll be dealing with, which I am also about to cover. Number 1, road. Road races are your standard. Rubber meet road, wall meet car. Most of these races are circuit-based, but there are exceptions, probably for special event races and whatnot. They're the go-to for classic fun. They typically have the tightest turns because the asphalt allows for it, but that's not to say that they have nothing else. The problem is, every race type has so much variety, it's really hard to pin down a defining feature beyond it's on a road. Duh. Street races! Street races follow the majority of the rules of road race with some extra rules thrown in for fun. One such extra rule is that there are civilian drivers who... they probably knew what they're getting into, right? On top of that, the street races are normally a point-to-point race with some real straight stretches to help you hit that max speed. This is the kind of race that you whip out if you just want to go fast car, fast direction. They can be very fun, because you're not constantly twisting and turning, but if one person really outshines you, yeah, it's over for you. Dirt races. This name feels a bit dishonest, because it's not just dirt. You deal with all track types at once. Asphalt start into dirt track, or vice versa. You basically need a car that can handle everything, but you obviously can't maximize everything, so something has to kind of suck. I love these races because everything is just a little bit trickier to stay clean with, and the race can quickly devolve into a game of bumper cars where no one can control themselves and I don't get blamed for running people off the road. Cross country. We've covered on the road, we've covered on and off the road. Time to cover off the road. Cross country is entirely dirt and mud tracks. Hard to control tracks mean heavy cars with big tires trying to keep any grip they can. These tracks also tend to have some lenience with the checkpoint size, letting you approach the course in almost any way you want. As long as your way is faster than everyone else's, who really cares? So, that's the race types. Ignoring toge, tog, which I don't understand, but it seems to be just a head race, where it's polite to wait for your opponent to hit the last stretch so they don't get a DNF. Thank you everyone who has done that for me so that I can at least get the completed race mission. And drag, which is go fast forward, obviously. I'm sure this is more involved if you don't play with automatic gears, but I don't know how to drive, so I don't know what I'd be doing there. I think you just shift gears when it's red. I don't know. Oh, I guess there is one type of race I've left out. Showcase races are Forza Horizon's showcase of what kind of fun you can have when you make a racing game that isn't meant to be taken seriously. In Horizon 5, I remember there being a really cool showcase where you raced a train across the map, and that felt really fun. In Horizon 6, you're in Japan. So what are you going to race? A legally distinct Gundam, of course. This race was genuinely a spectacle to drive. Watching this beast of a machine knock over trees like an average McDonald's customer, knocking over children to get their order while you go zip and zoom between its legs like a small dog, waiting for them to drop a nugget filled me with childlike glee I can't find words for beyond. It's so cool. Seriously, other than my beloved fake Uber Eats game mode, this race on its own makes this game feel like something worth experiencing. Not just mew go faster than the other guys, but an actual spectacle that feels worth the price of admission. Okay, maybe not that far. £60 for just this would be an insane idea, but we'll get the price later. There are other showcases, of course. There's the intro race, which is just a product placement for fancy cars you'll never afford. Kinda cool, but not that interesting. Satellite launch, it looks neat, but the race itself doesn't really have anything that exciting going on. It's no fault of the race, it's just, when you're trying to compare yourself to a Gundam. Sorry, not a Gundam. There's one race where you zip between ship docks with loads of moving parts and slamming down containers. That feels great, but there's lots of corners to climb up high that got annoying because it's a skill issue. Also, it felt very scripted. And not in the, everything's happening on a script, obviously. I mean, it feels like the stuff that's meant to look cool is meant to happen as you're going past, so you can't really screw up because everything is happening after you. It's like there's containers slamming down, but they slam down after you've already passed, and they don't start slamming down until you're already halfway. You'd have to put an effort in to really die here, I haven't finished this game. There's, I think, 3 more showcase races for me to try, but they don't look like they've got as much going for them, so I'm not that upset about not having them yet. But I know, kind of dumb to write a review without finishing the thing. But genuinely, The mecha race sold me on making this video. I've been wanting to make more in-depth videos where I actually script and talk about what I'm saying rather than just recording myself playing something. But the moment I saw that mech booting up and I got a chance to see the passion these devs put into making something, something that I'm sure many of us dreamt of seeing as a kid, I had to talk about it. And if this does not do well, oh well, I can at least hold my head high and say I tried something. So, what else does Horizon 6 have going for it? Oh, it's got seasons. These have been a staple of the series since its introduction in Forza Horizon 4. And it basically works by, over the course of a month, the game world covers a year of seasons, each week being one season. Each season acts like a kind of battle pass. I'd make a Fortnite joke, but everything has a battle pass nowadays, so it's just standard game design. With challenges each week to earn 2 cars, with 2 additional cars at the end of the month if you complete enough. I got this game a week after launch, so I've missed the first season. 2 cars lost, oh well. Unfortunately, unless I now complete all but 5 points worth of the month's challenges, I can't get a festival playlist bonus car, and that feels unforgiving. But I don't know enough to confidently say I hate it. I don't like the idea of missing out because I didn't do everything a given week, but I don't know if the car will never come back or if it's even worth trying to get. I'm sure there'll be some cars in the future I'd be bummed about missing out on, but the main issue for me is knowing there'll always be gaps in my collection I potentially can't fill without making use of the auction house. Although there'll be gaps in my collection whatever I do. There's 600 of these bastards. I'm not getting all of them. Oh yeah, the auction house. Not really anything special. Players can put their cars up for sale at a price that other players can bid for. It's a good option to fill out your collection for cars you can't get anymore. Barn finds! I mentioned these briefly earlier, but these are fun. You get a mark on your map telling you, hey, there's something here! You blindly cause deforestation in the hunt for a building you may not even notice. They sometimes have a pretty obvious path not on the map leading to them, so, you know. Once you get to the building, you get some information about the car itself. Pretty cool, because some of these are actually pretty unique cars. You then don't talk to anyone to claim it, and you definitely don't pay anyone, so... yeah, I guess you just steal these super rare cars. If no one sees it, the car is free to take, I guess. Then you wait a little bit for the restoration, and you have the car. Hooray! The used barns also have a nice feature where you can leave your car for someone else as a mystery gift. This is a car of your choice, just whatever you want to stick in there. It's not that big, but when you first get one and some saint has left behind a really expensive car, or just for fun, it's a nice feeling. Hell, if I was a kid and I saw I randomly got a free car that looks cool, I'd be screaming like I won the lottery without even realizing it's a super cheap one. So, go be nice to strangers.
Hello, it is me, Jimmy Beast, and I am here to give you a brand new car for my content video contents.
That's so nice of you. Is it a cool and fast supercar?
Even better.
Some sort of experimental car that never actually got released?
Even better.
That's a 2004 Honda Civic. I spent so much money to bring you here. What the fuck?
Spit names.
Right, I've said a lot of good, but this wouldn't be a semi-review if I didn't talk about the bad. And as for the bad, NPC personalities are lacking, we'll say.
You're not sightseeing, are you, Jordy?
No, I'm locked in.
I'll leave you to focus then.
Right,
Okay then.
May.
Maybe you both need quiet time?
Yeah, good idea. Quiet time. For now.
Everyone's very friendly and high spirits, which is fine. But sometimes I just feel like I want to do a story mission with an NPC who calls me a little bitch and spits on my car while calling me Paul, so I have the satisfaction when I run them off the road. But NPCs aren't the focus of the game, so it's fine for them to be cardboard cutouts with some motivational phrases spewing from them sometimes, I guess. Wheel spins feel really lackluster. You earn the wheel spins by doing missions, so getting a 5k credit payout for them feels really wasted. I mean, I could have got that 3 times over by doing 1 delivery shift. Also, the cars on the wheel are pretty rare, so getting all the special ones, like the Forza editions, which have small bonuses, such as Father Forza giving you extra pocket money, they feel like a slow gamble, which sucks some of the fun out of the wheel. Although I have read that the wheel will prioritize cars you don't own, so if you buy everything in the market, you're more likely to get some of the cool ones. Launch Day DLC. I don't have a complete objection to this. I understand that it's just a part of modern gaming. You're gonna get early DLC and you're gonna have to accept it. Whatever. What I don't like to have to accept is that this is a £60 base game. That's $80 of the Americans. With a deluxe edition being £90 to add 30 cars. That's 30 more pounds. But these cars aren't even out yet. They're drip feeding you your DLC content. I don't know. If you really like the majority of the cars that come out, then maybe £30 is okay. But this feels crazy right now. At the time of writing, I think there's maybe 10 that you can get by buying this. But when all the cars are out, that's £1 per car. So maybe you're okay with that. I'd prefer the option to pick which cars I want separately, rather than dropping £30 at once for maybe 5 cars I'll enjoy using. You also get a welcome pack with 5 pre-tuned cars and a single auto show voucher. But this pack is only £5 and doesn't really feel worth it. So yeah, this deluxe edition is actually buying the DLC and then getting a free welcome pack. I guess if you really like the cars, go for it. Next up is the premium edition for £110, which is an insane number, but is only £20 more than deluxe edition, so maybe that's okay? But that could be on purpose to convince people who were getting the deluxe edition anyway to think, oh hey, it's only 20 more of my pound coins. Personally, I just don't care for editions which don't come with cool physical stuff, and that's really rare nowadays, so want to me, I guess. I guess deluxe editions that come with all of the DLC is okay, but I'd normally wait for those to go on a sale, so whatever. Sorry, premium edition. The premium edition comes with 2 currently unannounced, to my knowledge, DLCs. These DLCs have honestly been pretty fun in the past. The Horizon 5 had a really cool rally DLC and a Hot Wheels crossover, so I can see them doing some really fun stuff with this. Maybe like a massive anime crossover and you can, I don't know, Naruto run next to your car. These big DLCs have typically come with a whole new area to drive around in, so that's pretty cool. I think these DLCs will be worth it when they're out, but I don't like the idea of pre-ordering DLCs, even if with a game like this, you know they're gonna come out, you know? What else do you get here then? Yeah, you get a VIP membership, which is kind of cool. That's a free super wheel spin each week, which is the same as a regular wheel spin, except you get 3 of them at once. Double race cash output. I've read this applies to deliveries, but can't currently confirm. So if you want to throw £20 into a void to get this and let me know below, thanks muchly. And a few exclusive cars and vanity things. Nothing you'd be missing out on if you didn't buy it. But if this was a tenner, this VIP pack, maybe, but £20, even for a lifetime of extra cash, feels nuts. I guess if you're dead set on collecting everything, then the boost to credits is really helpful. But it's not a fan. On top of that, the Super Special Edition comes with 2 additional car packs. You know my mood on them. I think one of them's Italian. They don't look that interesting to me. Basically, if you just get the base edition, you're not missing out on much, except for the future DLCs. But you know what? I have to respect the devs for that. I don't want to feel like I'm missing out because I didn't get a fancy copy of the game. So even if they have just chucked everything in a bucket for the big edition, the only thing I feel like I'd be missing out on is the DLC, and I can buy the passes for however much they cost. So I will ignore it. You're not exactly seeing constant kill cams of everyone else with the cool stuff, so whatever. Right, anything else bad? Corners. I don't like corners. They make me stop going fast. Some people really hate the delivery game grind to reach the max score, but I enjoy it. And maxing it out doesn't really get you anything substantial. It's just flexing, right? Okay, let's take a look at some reviews. Here we go. This one talks about some scuffed AI, and yeah, that Bowie knife guy can be a real bastard AI at times. Boring characters, I've mentioned that. Online racing complaints? I guess if you play online, that's annoying, but I am a hermit who really doesn't play with other people, so womp womp. Yeah, I've covered wheel spins. Good optimization. Nice that even people who don't enjoy the game talk about that, so I respect it. This one's even more negative, but they do comment on unskippable start screens, which can be annoying. What I find more annoying is the unskippable cutscenes, where you're constantly talking to these other characters, but your character doesn't have a voice, so you're just kind of there. It's very GTA Online coded. It's annoying to see meatbags in my shiny metal box speed game. Other than that, pretty standard stuff. We'll wrap up the complaints section there. Hopefully shorter. I wanted to keep this positive, but I think for proper balance, you need to cover what's bad. And there you have it. Forza Horizon 6. A fantastic mid-year drop of a game for people who don't really want a super serious racing game and just want to kind of go fast in cars that probably shouldn't be going fast, such as the Reliant Robin. Thank you tremendously for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please consider leaving a like, and if there's any games you would like to see covered, let me know below. I want an excuse to play things I wouldn't normally, and making a review feels like a fantastic reason. If I get enough suggestions, I might stick them in a wheel and let that make the choice.